What's up, guys? It's Justin Stenstrom from EliteLifeNutrition.com, and you're listening to the Elite Life podcast. In today's episode, I want to talk about a fake superfood out there that I think a lot of people are unfortunately taking regularly, and also it's promoted often by a lot of these so-called, celebrity doctors or health experts out there, and it's really hurting people more than anything. It's definitely not helping them, and it can actually be quite dangerous you know, if consumed regularly or if consumed really in any amount. Like if you just get a little unlucky, you can actually do some really bad things. Before I dive into what this specific food is and what you can actually have instead of this food, I do want to say real quickly, organic super greens has just come out, as I mentioned last week. You can actually get yourself a free bottle of organic super greens at elitelifenutrition.com/greens. So that's elitelifenutrition.com/greens. And here's the thing. So this is packed with 28 powerful superfoods, including, it's USDA organic, by the way. All these veggies, fruits, and greens are organic. So including organic kale, spinach, broccoli, organic Brussels sprouts, spirulina, asparagus, celery seed, apple, beets, strawberry, garlic, blueberry, blackberry. Like, this is just loaded with powerful superfoods, super nutrients for your health, and I mentioned this before. If you're not taking in greens regularly, if you're not consuming fruits, vegetables, greens daily, then you're really missing out on optimizing your health. So with a supplement like this, it can help fill that void and actually give you some of those nutrients that you're not getting regularly, and really help you feel at your best, help you feel more focused, more energized, more enthusiastic for the day, feeling like you can do more things and get things done. This is an incredible boost for your day. So for a limited time only, probably honestly for just a couple days, we're going to have this link live, elitelifenutrition.com/greens, where you can get yourself a free bottle. So here's the deal with the free bottle. We're going to pay for this bottle, give it to you. We're also going to pay for shipping. We're going to cover the shipping. You don't have to pay a single penny. The only thing we ask is that within 14 days, if you don't absolutely love it, just shoot us an email, info@elitelifenutrition.com, and we will cancel any future charges. If you do love this, which is what we're hoping for and what many of our customers so far have absolutely, fell in love with this product. If you don't feel amazing, if you don't feel like you're more focused and energized and feel like, refreshed when you wake up in the morning, if you don't have all those things and more, just shoot us an email and we will cancel any charges. But if you do love this product, then you'll join the subscription membership with, it's $39.95 every month for a new bottle sent straight to your door. That's it, $39.95 every single month. Send this baby right to your door, and until you cancel. Basically, you can cancel anytime, but until you cancel, you get $39.95, down from $70 on the website. On the main website, it's the regular price of $70, so it's $39.95, still an incredible deal. That is if and only if you love this bottle and you feel amazing after taking it. So that's the thing with organic super greens. That's the thing with our offer right now. We pay for the shipping, we pay for the bottle. Just let us know. I mean, it's really an honor system. Like, just let us know within 14 days. If you don't feel amazing after trying it, we'll cancel it. And here's the kicker too, I didn't even mention this. You get to keep the bottle. So if you don't love this, that's why it's an honor system, really. If you don't absolutely love this, you still get to keep the bottle, and we're not going to have you try to send it back to us. You don't have to worry about printing a label out, shipping it to us, finding a UPS or a Dropbox thing or anything. You literally just keep the bottle. You can give it to a friend, a family member to try out, or your neighbor, or throw it in the trash. Like, we really don't care about. We don't want to put that burden of having to have you worry about getting it back to us in a certain amount of time. Like, literally just keep the bottle if you don't absolutely love it. We don't want to charge you. We just want you to try it out. And if you do love it, which is what we're hoping for, then at that point you can join the monthly subscription of $39.95, and then again cancel at any time. But again, 100% free. Just try it out. That's all we're asking for, and we think you're going to absolutely love this. But if you don't, for whatever reason, you still don't have to pay anything at all, and you get to still keep the bottle. Just shoot us an email, info@elitelifenutrition. But that's it for commercials today. I want to dive right into the episode and talk about the number one food that is not a superfood, that is marketed as a superfood, that's all over all kinds of different things, actually all over. Different greens products are sold by themselves, or sold as powders, and they're mixed into different shakes. And it's really bad for your health. And that food is chlorella. Chlorella is horrible for you to take. And I already know this when I say this. A lot of people get pissed off. I mentioned this a few episodes back with the fish oil. But when I mention this, it really upsets people because they have a belief, and it's really tough for them to nudge themselves free of that belief and actually think that maybe what I've been doing, for the past 6 months or past couple of years about taking the specific product, maybe it was actually wrong. Like maybe I was told some information that wasn't really true, and it's not actually helping me. And trust me, I'm the guy who for years was doing all the wrong things. For years, like I'd be sold on something like, oh yeah, I heard this, and this doctor on a big podcast said that, and he seems to be very legitimate. And I looked up some studies, and the studies seem to kind of back what he's saying. And I could think of that. I could think of specific cases, and one in particular, like the keto diet. I was all about keto for so long. I researched it like hell. I've listened to all these big famous doctors, I read all these scientific papers, these articles, this and that, and I was fooled. Like at one point, I was committed to that. I did it for about 6 months or so, and changed my life around committing to this diet and living this way. And I committed to the idea of it, and I really believed it firm until I started to feel like shit after a while. And it didn't like come on like overnight, but it gradually, over like the course of 2-3 months, like 2-3 maybe 4, gradually just came on, and I started to feel worse and worse. And then my health started crashing. And then it was like, whoa, how is this even happening? Like, how is this even true? Like my whole mindset was just totally flipped on its head. My belief system was flipped upside down because I believed this thing, because I listened to these guys who I thought were really smart. I read some scientific papers that I thought were right. It turns out they were wrong. It turns out these guys were full of shit. It turns out nobody has done this diet successfully long term. As far as there's always that exception. As soon as I say that, it's like, oh well, this guy did that one time, and he helped his epilepsy, and yeah, maybe he did help his epilepsy a little bit, but what about the rest of his system? What about his liver? What about his heart health when you have that much fat? What about his long-term brain health? Maybe you're putting out one fire, but you're starting another fire by being on this diet, and it's really it's what it is. If you have epilepsy, maybe you have an argument for trying it out if nothing else is working. But there's still other better ways, in my opinion, to treat epilepsy, even specifically with regard to diet. But maybe you could see some benefit with doing it. But anyone else who's doing it is just, they're really hurting themselves. They're pushing the can down the road, or kicking the can down the road, and delaying, not only just delaying the inevitable of the future health problems and the current health problem. You're not like delaying those, because when you do so I don't want to dive too much into this, but when you do, and we'll do a whole keto episode, but when you do the keto diet, you shock your system, you shock your adrenal glands. People have more energy initially when they do keto, when they jump on keto, because your adrenal system is so taxed that your body is releasing tremendous amounts of cortisol and adrenaline all day long. And that's why they have a boost in energy. That's why they only need to sleep like 3-4 hours a night. They have this like keto energy in the beginning. It's because your system is so taxed, it's so stressed out, that it releases all these chemicals of stress. And all of a sudden your mind is very overactive. You can think, you can do this, you can process things. But that burns out. Your adrenal system burns out. Your liver burns out. It's too hard on the liver. Your liver is not meant to handle that much fat. It's not meant to process that much fat. Your adrenals are not meant to be overtaxed like that for a long period of time. Adrenals are only supposed to be taxed for very short amounts, like fight or flight type of stuff, not 24/7. Your heart isn't supposed to have to deal with that much fat in the blood, and so your heart starts to suffer, and long term over time, things like clots happen, blockages. brain health. The brain is literally starving because the brain needs glucose. The brain needs the good sugar from fruit, etc. Yeah, the brain needs a tiny bit of fat. That's true. But the brain does not need to be running on fat. The brain does not need to be using ketones like that to be sustaining itself through that use. But anyways, I'm getting too much into the keto problem. What I really want to talk about is chlorella. And chlorella is so bad because, really solely because of one thing, but this one thing is so important. And that is because it's used primarily as a detoxifier. So people will take it to, supposedly to detox their liver, to cleanse their body, to get rid of toxins, heavy metals in particular, mercury, whatever, this, aluminum, this and that. What happens though is that it does pick up toxins from the body. It does pull toxins, and more specifically, heavy metals. It will pull metals like mercury out from parts of your body, your brain, your liver. Excuse me. It actually will do that. Problem is when it's getting rid of the toxins, when it's getting rid of the heavy metal through your system, it will drop the metals. So it will actually pull it from one place, move it a little bit, and then drop it. It can't fully excrete the heavy metal from your system and properly get it out safely and effectively. It picks up toxins, heavy metals from all over your body, and in the process of getting rid of these toxins through your body, through your stool, bowels, it drops these heavy metals. And so if you're picking up and putting it's basically like you're getting the trash, and then you're walking through your home as you're trying to get the trash out the door. Rather than getting the trash out the door and getting rid of the trash, you just pick up the trash and just start throwing it around all over the room. And that's what you're doing. So actually it can be worse when you do the chlorella, because on one hand it was actually, although it wasn't helping you, it may not have been hurting you as much when it was already in a spot and it was kind of sitting there for a while. Not a good thing, but again, if it's sitting there for a while, your body has kind of worked around it. But now if you pick it up and then move it to a different place or different room, using the analogy, and just throw it around in the room, now all of a sudden it's created a bigger mess. Now all of a sudden it's put in a place where it's not used to. It's potentially put in a more dangerous place. Maybe it's gone on a specific liver tissue. It's causing it can cause more damage when it's picked up and dropped around like that. It's essentially the same thing as going through your house and just throwing trash around because it's not properly removed from your system. It's not properly removed from your home. And that's the problem with chlorella. And that's the thing that all these guys, these expert doctors and these celebrity people, that's the thing that they don't tell you over and over again. They promote chlorella as a heavy metal detoxifier, and it's not. It can pick things up, but it cannot safely remove them. And it can actually make you very sick. So stay far, far away from chlorella. Instead, use cilantro. Cilantro is very, very powerful for picking things up and safely getting rid of them. It's like having an extra sturdy trash bag and then a super strong bodybuilder carrying that trash bag out of your house. Like, you're really in no harm of that bag breaking, or even more so of throwing the trash around like an idiot and throwing it into different rooms. Cilantro is the way to go. Cilantro is infinitely better at getting rid of heavy metals safely and effectively than chlorella is. Also, wild blueberries are very effective, and then you got like spirulina, which is effective, but cilantro is really the best one as far as heavy metals, especially when you're talking about like getting rid of them from the brain and deep parts of the cells where some of these other things really aren't able to get to. Cilantro is the best one to pull out those ones and really get into some of those places that none other foods can get into. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you stay away from chlorella and choose something like cilantro when it comes to detoxification. And stay away from keto as well, because that's no good. More fruits, more veggies, and take care, guys, and make sure you check out Organic Super Greens and the link. I'm going to put that in the show notes as well. EliteLifeNutrition.com/greens.